Welcome to Campersol Tea Time, Campersol's very own TV show dedicated to everything golf. Each week we'll be talking about one of the holes on Campersol Golf Course, the approach, the difficulties, the stroke index, and obviously the highs and lows. So to help us make the best of the hole, with me in the studio once again is Rob Greatley.
Hi. What are we talking about today, Hayley?
Today we're going to be talking about hole 7.
Okay, hole 7, yeah. Stroke index 1.
Stroke index 1.
Supposedly the hardest hole on the course.
Supposedly.
Yeah, supposedly.
I feel like it is.
You feel like it is?
I feel like it is.
I don't feel like it is.
So
but, yeah.
Okay. So the basic distance from
Okay, so
the tee boxes.
you only got one tee box here, which all 4 tees are on.
All 4 tees are on the same tee box.
So whites is just over 400 metres, and down to reds, which is 365 metres.
Yeah. So we start from the tee box, and you've got an elevated section of the fairway.
I mean, first of all, it's a fairly straight hole. It's not. There's no dogleg or anything. It's you can see the flag in the distance. So.
Yeah. So what would be your typical drive? Would it be a driver from there?
Oh, definitely a driver for
Definitely
me.
a driver.
I'd imagine it's a driver for most people, to be fair.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I would normally take a driver from there.
Yeah, I think most.
But there is quite a lot of danger with the driver.
Yeah. I mean, first of all, there's no penalty areas. But you've got a lot of scrubby land that falls away from the fairway on the left-hand side, and a lot of scrub land on the right-hand side of the buggy path.
Yeah. So the left-hand side, if you end up in the scrub area there, which is the potential to end up there.
Yeah, it does happen quite a bit.
Yeah. So what would you do from there?
Well, I think it really depends on what your lie is, how far down the slope you've gone. Personally, if I'm in that area, then I'll be looking to take a pitching wedge and just literally get the ball back up onto the fairway. Just
to get onto the fairway?
Yeah, I think
because
so.
There's quite a lot of distance between your first shot and then laying up to the water.
Yeah, I mean, well, you lay up to the water. I don't necessarily.
You don't lay up to the water?
No, but then of course you get an extra shot because you're a lady.
Oh, hang on a minute. It is a par 5 for the ladies.
Yeah, exactly.
We've not talked about the fact that it's a par 4, par 5. I know it's a par 4 for the men, par 5 for the ladies.
Correct.
It is quite difficult.
I mean, to be fair,
it's a long hole.
Yeah, for the ladies, that's probably right actually, because whereas the guys will drive and then be able to take the lake on. With ladies, they don't drive as far.
Yeah.
You really need a second shot to get near the lake, and then the third shot over the lake, which is probably what the extra shot is for.
Yeah. So just going back to your second shot.
Yep.
So if you end up on the fairway, then for most people, lower handicaps, you need a second shot just to lay up to the lake.
If you've got a high handicap, I think, I mean, we said this before, if you've got extra shots, because your handicap's high, then use your extra shots wisely. It will make you get the best out of the hole.
Mm. And so if you're in the scrub area, you can get out of there. There's a small bunker on the left-hand side, which is potentially a danger for the longer hitters, for the drive. You could
you probably get in there, and of course, if you're in there, it might prevent you from getting over the water with your second shot. So yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
So on the right-hand side, there's a little bit of danger that it's a bit of scrub land, but you can play off there. It's not a penalty area.
You can, but the only thing is there you've got a line of palm trees, so you've got to be aware of the fact that you've either got to get it back onto the fairway or you're going to take on a long shot to try and get it on the green.
Yeah. Okay.
Not easy.
Yeah. Okay. So and then there is a drop zone.
Yeah. Well, of course, if your ball goes towards the lake but doesn't make the lake and lands in the lava rock before the lake, then you get a free shot, a free drop. A free drop
in the
drop zone.
Into the drop zone.
Yeah, exactly.
But obviously, if you're in the lake, then it's a penalty shot.
If you're in the lake, penalty shot. You don't use the drop zone. You just come this side of the lake, and then obviously you've got to play over the lake again.
Okay, so from my point of view, I would hit probably my drive, and then if I'm lucky, I'll do a nice shot just short of the lake.
Right.
And then it's actually getting over the lake.
For you, it is.
For me, it is. For me, it's a difficult thing. For most people, it's fine, but to actually get over the lake, there is like a shortcut. If you wanted to cheat, if you wanted to cheat,
you can use the path. Is that what you're saying?
You could use the path. Yeah, because there's a nice path area. There's a lot of scrub land on the right-hand side.
Yep.
So you could take a cheat shot.
Yeah, you could.
And try and get over there.
But I don't think it's any need, really.
Well, speak for yourself.
I mean, the lake is actually only 50 yards wide. So if you can hit a shot in the air 50 yards, then you should be able to get over the lake.
Yeah. Okay.
Remember that next time you play.
I'll try. Honestly, this hole is just my nemesis. So once you actually get over the lake,
Yep.
There's a few dangers.
Yeah, you've got two bunkers.
Two bunkers.
One either side.
There's a big slope as well on the left-hand side.
Yeah, once again, really, if you go down there, you're in big trouble.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of vegetation down there.
There's a lot of vegetation,
Yeah,
isn't there? You know, so to even find your ball, you'd be lucky.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. And even if you find your ball, you're going to be finding difficulty to get it out there. And
Yeah.
So don't go left.
Yeah. So once you get over the lake, and then I would say it's a fairly simple shot onto the green from there.
Yeah.
Depending on where you...
I don't often have to play from there, so you probably got more experience with that than me.
Okay, so it's over to me. All right, so I've probably got more experience at this hole than you have.
Certainly from that area,
From
yeah.
that perspective.
For me, see, my second shot is over the lake onto the green, so...
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, well, why not in the hole?
No, well, it hasn't happened yet.
Okay, well, there's time for everything. So I've probably got more experience of this hole. So for me, it's a drive and then a layup second shot.
Yeah.
And then if I can get over the water, third shot.
Okay.
And then it's a little chip onto the green for the fourth shot.
Right.
But for the ladies, it is a par 5. So
Exactly.
and for me, as a higher handicapper, it's stroke index 1. I have 2 shots on that hole.
Yeah, to be fair, I mean, most people, even with a handicap of 19, are still going to get 2 shots because it's stroke index 1.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay, so assuming we've reached the water, and then we're hitting our shot onto the green, what are the difficulties with the green? Obviously, there's a bunker on the right, bunker on the left.
Yeah, both before the green.
And then it all slopes down to the back.
Yeah, that's the one thing about it. It's got an insusceptible slope, the green. So whenever your ball lands on the front, you think you've done a good shot, and then you find the ball at the back of the green, or even gone over the back of the green. So you've got to remember it's got quite a slope.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like it if you look at it.
Yeah, but the green itself is quite flat.
Yeah, the green's flat. Yeah.
Yeah. So for your sort of shot onto the green, assuming you land on the green in your third shot?
Second shot.
Second shot. You can't get on the green on your second shot. Anyway, assuming you do.
Yeah.
So how many putts would you think would be appropriate?
Well, I mean, as I said to you before, I always aim to have 2 putts on every hole. If I manage to get 1 putt on the hole, then that's where that's where I'm going to make my points scoring certainly on Stableford.
Okay.
So you should always aim no more than 2 putts on the hole.
Okay.
If you can do that all the time, you're going to get in for a good score.
How many times have you parred this?
Well, I've parred it a fair few times, but for me, I'm always happy to walk off with a 5.
Yeah. Birdie?
Once, I think.
Yeah, it's quite a tricky hole to birdie, I think.
Yeah, you've got to have a good drive. You've got to have a very good second shot to get onto the green and a very good putt. So to score a birdie on this hole, not easy.
Yeah. Okay. I think my best score on this hole is probably I've done a 5 once.
Well, then for you that'd be 4 points.
That's big 4 points for me.
Very good.
With 2 shots, that's a 4-pointer. Yeah, but for me, to be honest, I'd be happy with a 7. I'd be happy to walk away
once again,
with a 7 for 2.
As I said before, people with higher handicaps, if you've got 7 on a par 5, that's 2 points, net par, brilliant.
Yeah, okay. So for stroke index 1 then, I think it's a tough hole. It's a tough hole. There's a lot of difficulties.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you can walk away with 2 points on that hole, I think that's a fantastic achievement.
Got to be happy.
Yeah, okay. Right. Thank you very much, Rob.
You're welcome.
It's been very interesting. Hopefully that gives you a bit more insight. I hope you found it interesting. Maybe it's given you a few things to think about. If you're watching us on YouTube, please hit the subscribe button or give us a like. Look forward to seeing you again on Tea Time when we'll be exploring another hole on Campersol. Thank you, Rob.
Welcome.
Thank you. Goodbye for now.
Bye.